Hi Meenakshi,
Hi,
this is Prakyat from Gulte.
nice to meet you.
Yep. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. Very happening last few months for you, right?
Yes, truly grateful.
You have been in almost like 4 to 5 movies, promotions.
Yes.
How exhausting is this?
I am now really starting to enjoy this. Initially, it was a little overwhelming. Kani, ippudu, I think this has become a part of my routine, sort of. So I'm
Okay.
very grateful and happy.
Okay. First, we'll talk about your few previous movies.
Yes.
Lucky Bhaskar, you got like acclaim all over the world.
Yes,
Even after the release, all the appreciation is pouring in from Netflix.
correct.
Everything. So, how is it? What is the best compliment you received for Lucky Bhaskar?
I think the best compliment that I received was one old lady coming up to me and telling me that, I saw myself in that, like that's exactly how I was. That's when I realized I am so happy that people could relate to the character, that it was convincing enough for them to see themselves in that character. I think for any actor, that is the biggest and the best validation you can get. And a lot of people, when I signed the film and when it was announced, when they got to know that this is a story around it, a lot of people actually questioned me on why I accepted that role.
Mother
Because
role.
yeah, it was a mother role and you're too young, why would you want to do it in the start of your career? They have that notion about it. And I never really thought from what people will think. I always functioned from the view that, is this what I want to watch? Would I want to go to the cinema to watch a movie like this, to watch a character like that? And that's my main idea of accepting that film. And I truly loved the character, the film, the team, everything about it felt like a no-brainer to me to, accept it. And when it released and when it happened to be what it is today, I think I can proudly say that I made the right decision.
Yeah. Again, so what is that blueprint for you to accept a script?
I think for me, now that I have the choice and the opportunity to say that yes, I like it, it's mostly because of the script. That is the number one, priority when I'm looking at doing a film. And the second is, of course, my character. How do I see myself, or would I be excited enough to do it? Would I be a little nervous enough to do it? Are one of the reasons or some of the reasons that I look for when I'm accepting a role or a character. And the third most important is the team, which I had a realization of late that even if you have a great script, but if you don't have a great team to execute that great script, it's a waste. Because I've seen so many great scripts not being able to get that position or that recognition or even that visibility because of certain limitations. And that is when I realized it's so important to be a part of a great team, have a great director who is envisioning exactly what is written and is able to portray and give that out. So having a great team, a great script and a great character, basically.
Yeah. So what is a straight no for you? Like
A straight no for me would be something that I cannot resonate with at all. A lot of the times people will be like, this is what is working nowadays. But I don't see myself doing that at all. And in fact, it may end up doing well also. But for me, I cannot see myself in that. So how can I convince the audiences when I can't convince myself only that, I'm playing that role, that this is my role, this is me. So for me, every time I feel like there's a film, so I never, like I said, if I had to go by what people are telling me, I would have not accepted the role of Lucky Bhaskar only. But luckily for me, I've never been somebody who follows people on what they do that, unless and until, of course, it makes sense to me. So more often than not, I've always been listening to my gut, to my intuition, and if it doesn't feel right, I don't do it. And it may have no reason also. Sometimes you just don't connect to it. It may be a great script and somebody else may end up doing that and end up doing that very well. But if I don't connect to it, I won't.
again, when you look at it, you obviously choose every character so that it will be memorable for people and for you also over the next few years to remember. So, how many memorable roles do you think you did until now?
Good question. I don't think that I can actually answer that because for me, every film is an important film, irrespective of how it does at the box office. Because I have put in my blood, sweat, and tears literally for every character.
Obviously,
you would want it to, every film of yours, you'd want to do well, for it to be memorable, to be loved. But one thing that I can say is that every character that I've played so far has been appreciated and loved by the audiences. And that is something, because you know, when I see somebody tagging me in a story and it'll have my pictures or moments from my first film to my latest film, and I feel so good that all the characters are seen, you know, so far whatever I've done. So as long as they're all seen, they're all felt by the audiences in terms of emotions, I think I have succeeded in whatever capacity I could, given the opportunity, the limitations I had from my first film to my last film. So I think for me it's just that, to grow as an actor, to grow as an individual with every project, but also when you look back in your own filmography, or when somebody else looks at your filmography, they're actually happy to see that you have done these roles. So I don't regret doing anything, actually, nothing.
No, that was my next question actually. So usually people tend not to answer this, but
Right.
When you go back and retrospect all your roles, do you think any role that you felt maybe I should have not done this?
Not really, and you know, I'll tell you why. Because the ones that are loved by everybody are loved, but the ones that did not probably do justice to what I was doing, which happened also, I think, the last year itself, the amount of love I got for people to say that she does not deserve this, she deserves better. I don't think I would have understood the importance of that if I didn't go through that. What happened was unfortunate, because even I didn't have control over certain things, and you never will have control over a lot of things. But when that happened, the response and the reaction I got made me realize that there are people who do look up to me in a certain way that I have to try and uphold no matter what. I don't think I would have realized that if it had not happened, or if I had not gone through that. So I think that was a blessing for me, because that's when I truly realized that there are people fighting for you to do something good and better.
Yeah.
So I was so grateful and blessed to be able to see that.
Okay. All these success and failures and all these are basically script choices.
Correct.
So do you think this will have an impact on the span of your career? See, if you have to speak facts, the span of a heroine in Telugu industry depends on your success ratios as well.
Correct.
So how do you think this will impact your span of your career?
I think as long as you have something to offer to a script, as long as you are somebody that audiences want to see, as long as they're not bored of you, I think that is what is truly important. Because you could be doing 100 films in 3 years, or you could even be doing 3 films in 3 years. But if the audiences have the same reception to seeing you every time you come on screen, I think that is what speaks for it. Because at the end of the day, we are in the business. It's an entertainment space, but it's an entertainment business. Right?
Yeah.
So if you think of yourself as a commodity, if people want to see that commodity, they will buy the ticket for it. But if there reaches a point where they're not wanting to see that, as a business model, you as a commodity are not wanted enough. So what do you do with things that are not wanted? Then you probably look for other options, or you try and change your strategy, try and change how you look at things or what you do. So I feel like, and luckily in today's time and date, it is not really about your age for you to sustain, because we have a lot of people who are still in their 30s and 40s and 50s and are doing so well, because the scripts are like that. It's not just about being young and making films. It's about all age groups getting the kind of scripts they want for their ages, and that's such a lovely thing. People are married and they're doing amazing work. So even that is not a limitation now. People would be like, oh, after you're married, your shelf life is that. So I think all of those things are now redundant, I think. So we are in an amazing time in cinema where women are being heard, they are being seen, they are being accepted, and I'm so lucky to be entering cinema at that point of time. So I think this is a great time.
Again, you're actually giving me lead for my next question as well. So you're telling people getting bored.
Correct.
So there's a thing called exclusivity.
Correct.
So do you think will there be a point where people think there is too much of Meenakshi? Because maybe you didn't plan, but there are a lot of movies that came in the last year which you did. So how do you think you have to become choosy in accepting only good films, or you have to give that required gap so that you have that power in you, that exclusive power in you. So
See, the release of the film is never in an actor's hand. I think that's the producer's decision on whatever factors they have in mind on the release date or the months or whatever. That I'm not at all qualified to even tell. What I can do as an actor, as an artist, is make sure that even if there are 7 films that are coming, but they're all different films. Even the looks of it are so different that it doesn't look like it's Meenakshi. However, if I'm looking the same in every film, if I am acting the same in every film, then probably the audiences will get bored. And then it is my job to make sure that they are not, because every time they see a character, it is a new character. What you saw in Lucky Bhaskar was not what you saw in Goat. Or what you saw in Guntur, or what you saw in Matka. So they were all different, or in Mechanic Rocky for that matter, you know, or what you'd see in Sankranti Ki Vastanam. So they're all so different from each other that there is some sort of excitement that is there. Now we want to see her as a cop. Oh yeah, she looks different as a cop, but she's completely different as a Sumati in Lucky Bhaskar. So I think that as an artist is my job to make sure that I continue doing something new and fresh. But if I literally in all the 10 films I look the same and you can't tell this was from which film, this was from which film, you can't tell, they're all looking the same, then I think I failed as an actor, because the audiences deserve what you are intending to give them, and then I think there's always scope for doing more.
Yeah. There's one thing actually I ask every hero in this, you prefer to answer or not.
Yeah.
So there's a thing called on-screen and off-screen age.
Correct.
The debate is always happening.
Correct.
Because the heroes are almost 60 years plus.
Correct.
And you are around your 20s or 30s. So what is your take on that? Should that matter in the type of scenes or songs or the scripts? The
I
age
think
factor?
Given today's time as an artist, if you tell me to act like a young kid, which Amitabh Bachchan did in Pa, I don't know if you've seen that movie. He plays a kid that is literally, his age is something else already, but he plays something else. Or even playing a character as old. Thanks to prosthetics, thanks to makeup, thanks to so many other things that come into play in making an actor look the part, that in today's time and date, age does not really play an impact on the character you're playing, as long as you are fit to play that role. And if the director sees you that this character fits this actor. If that is the case, I think you should go ahead with it. Because, you know, if you limit yourself that I'm only in my 20s, I'm only going to play the roles in my 20s, and I'm limiting myself as an actor into, you know, only doing those. Now, not every film will require a 20-year-old to be a part of it, right? However, if I can diversify myself as an actor, that I am not afraid to play a mother. I'm not afraid to play a middle-aged woman or a young mother. But I can also be a cop who's in her 20s and is like, you know, kicking ass. I can do that. I can do that with the help of makeup. I can do that with the help of prosthetics, whatever, if it's needed, or whatever. So I'm saying I don't want to limit myself because of my age. I want to be able to do whatever is coming my way as long as I'm convincingly doing it. So if I'm not able to do that, then that's a different thing. But if I'm able to pull it off in terms of looks, in terms of you forgetting that, okay, this is what her age is, but she looks the part for that, I have succeeded in that. So I don't want to limit myself with the age. That's my consideration. So on screen, off screen does not matter.
Yeah. Okay. Away from all the serious questions. So what is your are you active on Instagram and all this? Do you know your popularity? For example, I say whatever reel we put up on you goes in millions.
Really?
Yeah.
That I don't know.
You've been that star trump card for us also.
Oh, that's so nice. I'm so happy. I'm so happy to hear that.
So what's your, do you know the popularity you have on social media?
You know, honestly, I don't really pay much heed to it because I still think of myself as somebody who's doing this job, and then I'm thinking about how I can do that better. And then when I'm not that, my mom will tell me to go bring milk packets from the market. So I'm like, she does not give me that head that I'm a, you know, if I can call myself like this actor. She doesn't. She'll be like, can you just go get supermarket milk or groceries and all. She'll treat me like that. So I think when you have friends and family around you who'll always keep you level-headed.
You will be grounded.
Yeah.
But I'm asking, do you know the love you are getting?
I'm definitely aware of the love I get, because every time I go for these events and all, there's so much of love that is given. I actually get very emotional. I still cannot believe there's so much of love that is given to me. Like, I cannot fathom it, and I'm so grateful for it.
Do you had any fan encounters?
Lots of them, and they were
Any
so
funniest
lovely.
thing you remember? Maybe a funniest DM you got?
Funniest DMs, so there are so many.
What kind of DMs do you
There'll
get?
be a lot of guidance coming in. Meenu Papa, do this. Meenu Papa, do that. You should look like this. You should post things like this. But it all comes from a very, very great space. And I think luckily I am blessed to have fans who really respect and appreciate me. It's not for anything else, but just for the person I am. And they look at me in a way which is so respectful and nice. And I love that. And whenever somebody says you're a wife material, I take that as the biggest compliment, because not everybody is somebody you would want to wife up, or somebody you would want to take home. If you consider me like that, I take that as the biggest compliment that I can ever get. And funnily, I actually started getting proposals after Lucky Bhaskar.
Okay.
People from abroad, their parents are messaging and emailing me that, we have a son, he's a doctor and he's this and that. And I'm like, this is the impact that cinema can do. The love, the respect, and the acceptance you get is no joke. It's real. So that's I think the biggest compliment.
Yeah. Okay, coming to Sankranti also now.
Yes.
How, when, and why?
How, I think it was meant to be, because I was waiting on having a comedy and I wanted to play a cop for as long as I can remember. And so when I got this opportunity, they said that it's a comedy film. And so far, in all the films that I've done, I've not attempted anything in comedy. So when they told me the story, I loved it, and there was no two thoughts about it. So I'm getting to play a cop, I'm getting to do action, and I'm getting to do comedy. So it is a perfect package for me, and it's releasing in Sankranti. So I think Sankranti to Sankranti, it's an entire circle for me. Starting from last year to this year. So I think it was a no-brainer, and having a great team, like I said, Anil Ravipudi is known for his comedy and the films that he's done. So I think it just fell in place. And this is by far the fastest finished film that we did. Like, we shot for it in such a short span of time. 6 months back is when we started it, and we finished it, and it's releasing now. Like, all of this happened so suddenly. I'm still still trying to make myself realize, okay, it's about to release in a few days. What, 10 days, 4 days? I don't know. So it's that.
How was it, the working experience? We know Venki Garu is like next level in his humor.
He is.
And Anil Ravipudi Garu also.
Of course.
So how was the working experience on set?
I had the best time. I had a blast because Venki sir, everybody knows his comic timing is superb. And Anil sir is somebody who writes things on the spot. Like, he'll think of scenes on the spot. Oh, this area looks nice. Let's just do something here. How can you just so that's the thing about comedy, you have to be constantly thinking on those lines, because you never know if you get something right now and he'll create something out of that, and it ends up being so funny. So that, and we have a talented actress, like everybody, I think nobody needs an introduction to who Aishwarya Rajesh is. So having a cast and crew which is so talented, so respected in their own space that they've created for themselves, me getting to share screen space with them and getting to work with them is a blessing in itself. And I had the best time on set every day. I learned so much. Since it was my first time at comedy, I was literally just looking at everybody and seeing how they do it, because it's not your regular acting. You have to keep thinking of comedy, you have to keep thinking on the spot, what can you add to this scene that will look funny, what can you do that will act funny, all of those things you have to keep thinking. In serious, it's different. In serious roles, it's different. There is a certain mind space you have to be in. But in comedy, you have to keep thinking on the spot. So that is something that I learned from this film and this character. So it was a lot of fun.
So obviously, the promotional material which came until now is more like a family movie with emotions and comedy. Correct. But I heard it's more than that. It's a thriller.
A lot more.
So can you say something about the movie?
So it's a clean comedy film. There is a clean family film. Every age group will enjoy this. It's not just for the families. It's for everybody basically. And it has got bits of thriller. It's got bits of comedy. It's got bits of emotions also, of course, because this family drama. What do you expect from that? But more than that, it's an entire package of what you would want on a Sankranti. So it's going to be a great experience for the audiences to come and see.
What is the takeaway from this movie, say from Venkatesh Garu or Ravipudi Garu?
So much. I think with Sir, what I've learned is so much more about life. I mean, as an actor, of course, he's talented, but there's so much more to offer that I got to know from what his beliefs are. And he's such a zen person. He's so sorted in his head, and I'm sure, I mean, he took his own time to be able to reach this place, and I hope to reach that place too. But you know, we get so caught up in life, in wanting to chase certain things, be it success, be it money, be it recognition, validation also, for that matter. We forget on things that truly matter, and you realize those things once you've got everything you were chasing, but there's still more to chase, because that chase never ends. And then you realize, oh, I wish I had spent my time on things that truly mattered. So I think that is something that I took away from this entire experience and from everybody. Yeah.
I guess there is a very philosophical side for you as well.
I'm
Because
truly,
the last interview, one of my colleague did your interview.
Yes.
You told a very good quote about time. You have to respect time. And
yes.
so
yes.
it actually went viral also when we posted
Yeah.
that. So now you're telling about the whatever you told just now.
True.
So
I
is it like you read books, or it's just general life thing that goes on for you, or?
I mean, I think I've been a lifelong searcher and just trying to find meaning in things, and you realize that with time there's so much more that you can do, and by living and by experiencing things you figure out so much, but you have to keep your eyes and mind open to everything, I think. And I think my mind is tuned that way. I just find philosophy in everything, and but it's I find it beautiful because it gives me meaning to life.
Yeah. What's next for Meenakshi?
There's so much more. This year is so exciting. There's one film with Naveen Polishetty that is
Just
already
announced,
which got, and there's I think 2 more projects in Tamil and Telugu. I mean, different languages. But once they announce, I'll be able to announce. But there's a lot more in store for 2025, and yeah, I think the audiences will have a great time, and I think my fans, because I'm more into, like I said, just figuring out more of what I want to do in 2025. So it's going to be a very personal journey that I would love to keep my fans also in the same space and share with them. So this year is a mix of all the things.
Hope you take a break in between also.
yes. Which is when I will be interacting with them and figuring out about my life as well. Yeah.
Anyways, thanks for your time, Meenakshi, and
Thank you.
all the best for Sankranti.
Thank you so much.
Hi, this is Nani and you're watching me on Gulte.
Hi, this is Samantha and you're watching me on Gulte.
Hi guys, this is Janvi Kapoor and you're watching me on Gulte.com.
Hi, this is Dulquer Salman. You're watching me on Gulte.
హాయ్ నేను శోభిత ధూళిపాల మీరు నన్ను చూస్తున్నారు Gulte.comలో.
And you're watching us on Gulte. If you like the video, please like, share and subscribe. Only love to you.